Today we're going to talk about mental health. Mental health refers to cognitive, behavioral, and emotional well-being. It's all about how people think, feel, and behave. People sometimes use the term mental health to mean the absence of a mental disorder. Mental health can affect daily living, relationships, and physical health. However, this link also works in the other directions. Factors in people's lives, interpersonal connections, and physical factors can all contribute to mental health disruptions. Looking after mental health can preserve a person's ability to enjoy life. Doing this involves reaching a balance between life activities, responsibilities, and effects to achieve psychological resilience. Conditions such as stress, depression, and anxiety can all affect mental health and disrupt a person's routine. Although the term mental health is in a common use, many conditions that doctors recognize as psychological disorders have physical roots too. In this, we explain what people mean by mental health and mental illness. We also describe the most common type of mental disorders, including their early signs and how to treat them too. According to the World Health Organization, or known as WHO, mental health is a state of well-being in which an individual realizes his or her own abilities, can cope up with the normal stress of life, can work productively, and is able to make a contribution to his or her community. The WHO stresses that mental health is quoted more than just the absence of mental disorders or disabilities. Peak mental health is about not only avoiding active conditions but also looking after ongoing wellness and happiness. They also emphasize that preserving and restoring mental health is crucial on an individual basis as well as throughout different communities and societies the world over. In the United States, the National Alliance on Mental Illness estimates that almost 1 in 5 adults experience mental health problems each year. In 2017, an estimated 11.2 million adults in the US, or about 4.5% of adults, have a severe psychological conditions, according to the National Institute of Mental Health, or known as NIMH. So moving on, let's talk about the risk factors for mental health conditions. Everyone has some risk of developing a mental health disorder, no matter their age, sex, income, or ethnicity. In the US and as much of the developed world, mental disorders are one of the leading causes of disabilities. Social and financial circumstances, biological factors, and lifestyle choices can all shape persons' mental health. A large proportion of people with a mental health disorder have more than one condition at a time. It's important to note that good mental health depends on a delicate balance of factors and that several elements of the life and the world at large can work together to contribute to disorders. There are nearly 300 mental disorders listed in the DSM-5, or known as Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders. This is a handbook used by health professionals to help identify and diagnose mental illness. Some of the main group of mental disorders are mood disorders such as depression or bipolar disorders. Another one is anxiety disorder, personality disorders, psychotic disorders, eating disorders, trauma-related disorders such as post-traumatic stress disorders, or substance abuse disorders. The diagnosis of mental illness can be controversial. There have been many debates in the medical community about what is and isn't a mental illness. The definition can be influenced by our society and culture, but most mental illness occur across all countries and cultures. This suggests that they are not just constructed by social norms and expectations, but have a biological and psychological basis too. So now let's talk about continuous social and economic pressure, which contributes to mental health disruptions. Having limited financial means or belonging to a marginalized or persecuted ethnic group can increase the risk of mental health disorder. A 2015 study of 903 families in Iran identified several socioeconomic causes of mental health conditions, including poverty and living on the outskirts of a large city. The researchers also explained the difference in the availability and quality of mental health treatment for certain groups in terms of modifiable factors which can change over time and non-modifiable factors which are permanent. So let's dig more deeper and talk about the modifiable and non-modifiable factors. Modifiable factors for mental health disorder include socioeconomic conditions such as whether work is available in the local area, occupation, a person's level of social involvement, education, housing qualities. These are some of the examples for modifiable factors. So talking about modifiable, let's talk about non-modifiable factors. They are included as gender, age, ethnicity, and the list goes on. The study lists gender as both a modifiable and non-modifiable factor. The researchers found that being female increased the risk of low mental health status by 3.96 times. People with a weak economic status also scored highest of mental health condition in this study.
Make sure you like this video and subscribe.